Hello folks and welcome back. This is a mod spotlight. I promised that I'd actually be doing these and I'd be looking for mods that no one else has reviewed yet. So I'm viewing this as an example. You have a fairly standard mining drill. It's, got a bunch of thrusters, bunch of gyros, so it can actually still maneuver even when loaded out. It's drilling out this rock fairly damn quickly. You know, could be a better design, but it's just something that I whipped up for the sake of this presentation. Oh, there we go. There we are. So I'm going to mine out this rock entirely, and you see how long it takes, even though it's going fairly quickly compared to, say, doing it by hand. Or even one of the puddle jumpers. This thing's a basic but dedicated mining rig. 5 drills, good cargo capacity. Lots of large engines to help keep it up in the air. Just needs a bit more lateral thrust, I think, and a lot more retro to truly be adequate. And the flanks and the aft are even armored, so it can take a lot of abuse. You saw it started out with like 76k dry weight for mining, so it's going to go up around 400k from mining out this rock. Alright, come on. Come on. Almost done. Finish up. Drag the bottom drills to try to get out that last little bit here. And the reason I like this particular model is because it is actually fairly quick and maneuverable. Even massively overloaded like it is, it's still still capable of moving. It just needs a bit more reactor or something. I don't know. Alright, come on. And drop, and drop, and drop, and drop. And drop. Now, the reason why I subjected you to the whole mining spiel there was this an example of what you can do with a fairly standard rig, right? Now, this is the Ogray's T2 mod set that I'm, not the whole pack, but the individual bits. And this is one that I modified with a strip miner on the front, a T2 spotlight, which actually does not work. I'll let you see that in a second. Alright, power up. And the spotlight, it's literally just illuminating right directly in front of the damn thing and nothing else. Literally. It's about as good as an interior light on a big ship, so we're just going to replace it with standard spotlight. There we go. So now I'm washing out everything like a proper spotlight should. Alright. Now the next thing you'll notice is indicators popping up on my HUD for ore deposits. Some of them 300 and 400 meters away. And this is where the T2 ore detector comes in from Ogray's mods. I replaced it, and it does drop your sim speed quite a lot until it catches up, and then... Alright, so... Alright, make sure it's functioning. Now with the large sources on the front, all I can see is flare, so I'm going to have to stop here for a moment. Now we've got the standard spotlight, and the T2 does absolutely jack all. And I think what I'm going to have to do is turn off the ore detector because it's lagging me straight out at this point. Come on, there we go. There we go. Now I'm actually functioning. Alright, strip miner should be active. Alright. And you're seeing just these massive chunks that you're taking out of the rock with this strip miner. It's a laser strip miner. Just digging a hole. Gotta keep digging. Gotta dig it all. Yeah, so in here, in less than a fifth of the time, maybe even a tenth of the time, we've done. And I'm actually going to head down here towards the lake bottom, so that way you can see. I'm going to be drilling a hole using the destruct mode on the drill into this mountain. I'm going to up the spotlight. So you can actually see it a little bit better in front of me, so you see and just how. Alright, so here we go. Destruct mode for the drill. You know, I'm not even going to bother trying to turn around out there, because you can do that right in here. And this is off a single small ship drill. Alright, and the last part of the Ogray's mods that I wanted to showcase here, and I'm going to drop the modded miner off right next to the vanilla partner. Power off, there we go. These are the batteries and capacitors, and when day breaks, which I'm going to pause the video between that part of the review, when day finally breaks in about 30 minutes or so, real time. Alright, so you have your standard battery. Input and output are 4.32 megawatts, and it stores 1.08 megawatts per megawatt hours, and this is actually collected a little bit. Okay, well, whatever. I thought I discharged them. Alright, so this, I'm actually going to go to the T1 here. There we go, T1 capacitor. It uses basically the same amount of resources as the battery, but it has a much higher input and output, but it only stores 400 kilowatt hours, so it's about 2/5 of the capacity of the standard battery, but it has a much higher input and output. And now we go to the T2 capacitor. Better in every single way, and this is a small, these are only for small ships. It has an input and output of 1 gigawatt, so you can shunt basically, you know, large ship reactors into the thing and it won't blow up. But it only stores 2 megawatt hour. It stores 2 megawatt hours of power, which is almost twice that of a standard battery. So we'll get an idea of what it needs. You know, total of 25 steel plates, 5 construction components, 2 computers, and 25 steel plates, 5 construction components, 20. So it's exact same requirements for a T1 capacitor as a battery. The T2 capacitor has a lowered steel plate requirement, increased construction component, increased computer, and increased power cell requirements. So it's much more expensive, but it's arguably a better replacement for the standard battery if you can afford it. Which, you know, to be fair, by the time you're making batteries in bulk for small ships, you can easily afford to throw T2 capacitors on everything instead of a battery. Now, I'm going to swap off to daytime, and you'll see that I already have the panels all welded up, but they're not actually intact yet. I've got the tiny and the small on each of these. from the one solar panels mod. We're not covering that mod yet because other people have done it. But this is the T2 from Ogray, this dinky little thing that's using the that uses that model. I mean, literally, it uses just the solar cell model, and it's the T2. I don't know, and it's really cheap. So I don't know what it's like charge-wise compared to, you know, the tiny, much less the small, much less the standard. So I'm going to just wait until day and continue on this. On each of these, you know, they might be at different angles from each other, but on each of them, each of the panels has the same charge, or not the same charge rate, the same angle to collect sunlight. So they really have, and they'll all be equally compared come daytime. So I will see you in a few minutes, or for me it'll be a few minutes, for you it'll be a few seconds. Alright, hello and welcome back. It is daybreak. The sun has started peeking up over the mountains, and we've got at least one, well, except for this middle one for whatever reason, but, or that, both of them, yeah, but that one's got a better angle anyway for catching the morning sun. Alright, so yeah, we're going to be seeing declining. We'll take a look at the regular solar panel, and it's outputting 6 kilowatts and rising. We'll go for the tiny and see it's 290 watts and slowly climbing as well. The small one is putting out 988 watts, but the T2, I think that's really surprising. It's literally half the size of the tiny and producing half the power of the big one. I honestly think its cost should be much higher. It's got 6 solar cells in as opposed to 2, as opposed to 4. So, I mean, yeah, but it's producing half the power of this monster while being just absolutely itty-bitty. It needs to be more expensive. Ogray. It needs to be more expensive. Anyway, that finishes up this review. Each of these panels here is at a different angle from the rest. So yeah, 1.98 kilowatts, 120, 725, and 6.08. Alright, T2, 2.25, 203, 109, and 6.81. So, as you can see, these are actually decently cost effective. They're going to provide a lot of power if you decide to use them. If you don't, that's fine too. They'll be a great way of heavily modifying. It's not well known though, and most people are just going to be using these instead because they're a lot more realistic. Still, I hope you enjoyed this little mod spotlight, and I will see you all around.